To talk the storm more in detail, Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Good joining me here at the set tonight. Jeremy, this one arrives, you're saying the strongest winds arrived actually tomorrow morning.
Yeah, so I think most of the night there's going to be a lot of people who have heard this messaging and go, where's the wind? Where's the wind? But it's really tomorrow morning, the few hours before the sun comes up through about the 2 hours after it comes up.
Okay. Which is kind of a busy time for everybody, right? Commuting to and from work and to school.
I was just going to say that same thing. I was going to say, which is kind of our worst case scenario, unfortunately. It's just as everybody's getting up and getting moving. So just exercise caution. We are under a high wind warning. You heard Mark talk about 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. There's a huge difference between 50 to 60-mile-per-hour winds and 60 to 70-mile-per-hour winds. Downed trees are much more frequent. That's even the healthy ones. Power outages are much more frequent, and everything is much more common because they just pack the punch. That's why we're in that high wind warning. Tonight, I think 45 to 55 miles per hour is likely, so where we've been. But you saw what that did for Northern Lights Power. It caused widespread power outages, so it's still possible. That's why crews are getting ready. Tomorrow morning is going to be the worst of it. 60 to 70 miles per hour. 4 a.m. to say 8 a.m. is likely the worst of it. 9, you're quickly getting to the backside. By noon, you're on the backside, but 40 to 50 mile per hour wind gusts tomorrow afternoon are enough that I would say, just don't go play in the woods. Best I can come up with. We catch a break, and by Thursday, we get our next wave. Thursday's next wave is 40 to 50 miles per hour as it moves in. A wild ride, but once again, 60 to 70 mile per hour winds are enough to down trees and cause widespread power outages. That's why it's a big deal to pay attention. If you're in the mountains, you had 10 to 20 inches of snow falling in the Cascades and 50 mile per hour winds there, and you get blizzard warnings. It is incredibly likely that those mountain passes close down. It's like the third time we've ever had blizzard warnings like this for the Cascades. There's our storm. It's not even here yet, and we're already starting to see some of those winds. Here's the front. There's our energy. It quickly moves in, and as it does, we get rain, then wind. It's another rain, then wind event. Flood watches are in effect for North Idaho, the west side, and those flood warnings remain in place where some of those areas are still battling some of the worst of what they've seen. Our rain is starting to fill in now. Notice it is even rain up in the mountains, and it stays that way. It's a warm one. Wind is out of the south tonight, changing to southwesterly tomorrow as it picks up. So around 4 a.m., when wind shifts to more southwesterly, that's when we are going to see those bigger impacts from the wind strength. By the time the sun comes up, wind will be out of the west, and it just cranks out of the west tomorrow. That's going to usher in cooler air. That's when our temperatures are going to drop as the sun comes up. It will be sunny tomorrow, but it is going to be incredibly windy and stay that way until snow moves in Thursday about the middle of the day. So I went ahead and weather impact alerted Thursday for snow changing to rain as our next round of wind moves in. It is a wild ride. Tomorrow, it's an exercise extreme caution, and I seldom say that. This is a big day in terms of weather. It will be sunny, but it's dangerously windy for a good chunk of it, and then temperatures cool, and the chance of snow and rain hits every day for the next week.
My goodness. All right, a lot to track tonight. Jeremy, thank you very much.